Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in the land of Quester Osaka. So we're going to be picking up where we left off for another round in this wonderful land. This still mostly just seems like Japan to me, so I'm not entirely sure why it needed its own game, but I mean, it is great to show off the native wildlife, isn't it? Food was a bit of a problem, so maybe we should just gather food for a bit. Make sure we got a surplus. I didn't realize we were using it during combat as well, so that is something important to keep in mind going forward. It probably happened in the first game too, and I kind of just always had enough food to not have to worry about it, but I am gonna keep an eye on it. I think it's just a chance to use it each turn of combat you have. I don't think it was something that particular dude was doing to us, so keep an eye on our food supplies as we play, and if we have longer battles especially. So that does make sense that you would eat food as you're stuck for a while, so I can't specifically fault the game for that mechanic, if that is what it is. Every time we did it was with this particular type of guy, so... Oh no, it is this guy. Oh, he has a stench, so you ruin some of your food when he does it. Oof. So it's specifically these black guys, they're a problem. No, let's just beat his ass down. We'll just get more food afterwards, but now that we understand, we know what the problem is. So there's only so much we can do about making this guy die faster, but we can definitely just beat his ass down. He can't hurt us. We won't die from lack of food now, because I thought it was a mechanic related to that, but now it's just this jerk. This is where a fire would be pretty useful, like a flamethrower, because I don't think you could miss with a flamethrower. From what I remember. That's the other problem, is that these guys have pretty high defense. And they reduce your accuracy. But if you have something that can't miss, it's a different scenario. We are gonna win. Honestly, as long as we fight guys like this, we'll probably be fine. We're getting food as we go. But, you do have to keep an eye on those jerks. Speaking of flamethrowers, I think that's what we just got, so yeah, we got a flamethrower. Having one of these ought to be good for the extra batteries, because the other problem we had was that we couldn't keep air rating. So even if we don't want to use the flamethrower part of this, just having this on will improve that situation, and it will still give us the attack that we're using on these characters, so. Switching out this bamboo sphere, which would take away their healing ability, is not going to be a problem, I think. So we'll get that on here. Like, flamethrower is pretty expensive in terms of the materials it uses anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily want to most of the time, but situationally that could also be useful, I suppose, but I think it's going to change our whole situation. We'll be able to do several more air raids before it's a problem, so. Yeah, this was definitely an equipment problem, though. We got a new item. What did we get? Yeah, we've seen this in the last game. It's a heavy weapon that does a bombardment attack. It's okay, but not something I think I would want to use. I'm sure it's fine. Do we want to move closer now that we are here? I think this is a fair point to move closer. We don't have to deal with the crabs anymore, so yeah, we'll move up to this corner. Let us go and get the few little, the good save levels. Because, our problems are all equipment-based right now. We just aren't using equipment that we overall want to for most characters. And I think as we solve that problem, getting more progress, we'll just start falling into place. I think once we solve this first map, we will start rolling our way to the rest of the content. Ouch. Our poor friend got Rombo comboed. Well, we don't really need materials currently. Hey, there's two safes near us. That's neat. Yep, we're getting closer to another couple of levels that are gonna bring us skills. Cool. That's a nice. Last time I remember this was accessory? With drugs, okay. It's fine. It's not better than the other stuff we have, so we're gonna let it do its thing in our inventory. Oh, hey, more river. Exciting. Yeah, we're just gonna cruise along. See where that leads us. Looks like the answer's not really much of anywhere that we needed to be, but I mean, it was fun. I think this probably leads us back out here. Now that I consider it, we haven't seen the spiders, so maybe those got switched out for like some more of the plants we saw. So maybe that's a difference. So it does seem to have new monsters, although the chompers are hilarious. So I'm glad that they are still here. Really wish you hadn't targeted. You know what I remembered is we might actually have more attacks now, so... Good thing I remembered a thing, right? Maybe that's a better play. It's another melee, I'm sure. It's a little better than the other one. So this one, but it doesn't have the unlock, which is the other part to it. But the basic attack is a little stronger, even if the number of attacks are that. So maybe that's not as good. Like, the reason for having the crowbar is to open those safes up easier, so... Not for its excellent capacity as a weapon, so... At least there's plenty of food in this corner, but I think I'm not gonna worry about it after I get the quota. As long as we don't get punked by the crabs, we should be okay. Well, so far we haven't gotten anything that increases our purification powder either. So that's been a change from our situation. Maybe one is good enough. We will start exploring more fully, I think. Look at you being a dead end. Alright, let's follow this to its exit points, and we'll see what's going on here. It is the main channel, I think. I had a feeling we'd come across more crabs. I think we're stronger now, I think. Especially now that we can do 2 rounds of air raids rather than just 1, I think the crabs will be much less of a problem. Oh hey, it's new boss friend. Should we take a peek? See what we can do with it. And nothing seems the most deadly, and I think we're gonna kill most of these guys, hopefully. So let's hope for the best. Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to wear this guy down, I think. He's definitely healing up quite a lot, which is a bit of a problem. So whether we can kill him or not is a little unknown, but I don't think he can kill us either. So yeah, he is healing up quite a bit each turn, so... That's the problem I see, is that I don't think we can actually take him out the way things are. But we could fight him technically forever, so a little bit of one and the other is definitely happening. Well, that's unfortunate. We're gonna have to come back with higher levels, better gear or something. So yeah, that's that corner sorted. Can we move somewhere better for us? Well, we could have, but we did not, so that is a thing that happened. Yeah, here's another accessory we didn't have, but we'll probably don't want to use. It just gives us more bullets. Could go there and around. We could also go down and left, which might be about what we want to do. I guess we might as well grab this along the way then. We're gonna have to fight most of those idiots anyway, so we might as well just make the circuit. We also didn't set up our air raids again, so that also happened. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna actually want to use the boomerang nearly as much as we have. We gave it a try for a while, but let's start looking at other options. I wish we had some good, like, swords and stuff. I guess this wouldn't be bad. It has decent power and slashes, which bleeds, so I guess maybe we'll get this in here. What else are you using? This? I guess having us on one character isn't bad. 2 was probably overkill. Let's make sure they've got the better one then. It fits their stats better anyway, so. That's a new accessory, I think. It has burn resistance on it, so we haven't really encountered anything that's a problem in that regard though, so we'll have to consider that if it happens. Yeah, I don't think I especially want to deal with the crabs, but we will kill them if they get in our way this way. That seems real potentially scary. What is this? 3 crabs? 3 might not actually be so bad. These 2 look like they're just healing. And I think our air raid will take care of most things. Yep, there we go. Was real bad for them. Fantastic. Same thing. Well, they're doing a bunch of attacks, which is less good. That was real not good. We should still be able to win without too much trouble, but no, actually, I think we're in trouble. Let's get out of here. I guess you don't get the drugs if they're dead. That's the problem, because like oh no, she's the one with the healing aura anyway, not our healer, which is pretty funny. That's what was going on. Now I understand. We got unlucky and the wrong character died first. Okay, we got a skill. Arsonist. Okay, well, that's not gonna help us for a hot minute. We're not gonna probably light things on fire for a bit. I guess this means we should try to take out this particular boss though, so we're gonna mosey down to this corner and sort that out as best as we can. I do think we're strong enough, we will do it. Going to consider. Yeah, I think this is fine. Oh, these guys also attack our food? Yeah, this was not fine. You jerks. They killed our healer. Let's try again. I still think we had the right plan, as you can see. It's just we got unlucky. Yeah, they're hitting our food, which is annoying, but not dangerous to us physically. So we did get a new item or two, but we don't really want them, I think. This is just a pistol with a slashing element. Sniper rifle. Yep. But we did get our level maximum raised up. So this was the area we unlocked, so we can explore this now. We should be stronger. We can probably sort these kinds of enemies out now. If we get a couple of them though, it's probably bad. But we're gonna have less bad of a time than before. Still not easy. Definitely these guys are still problems. You didn't run very well. I do hope the different parts of this are more varied up too. That would be kind of cool, but I mean, I'm fine with this too if it isn't. Like I said, I'm curious to see what's different about this game. I was perfectly satisfied with what we went through on the last one. What's your skill? Well, it's not terrible. Not really useful unless we get like free gadgets though. I'm definitely not gonna wear anything that gives me them, most likely. But yeah, there was several corners we didn't explore. And this does lead back over here. I did suspect it. That leads to here. That probably connects to this, so I might not need to worry about that. So I'm not going to automatically open it unless it becomes obvious that there's something hidden behind it. Just having a couple keys leeway was pretty helpful for pathing in the first game. Even though I did potentially have more than I ever needed at any point. I don't consider that to be a real problem. Yeah, see, look at that. We're right on the other side already. Like, that would have been a wasted key. That's a new item. So this one adds a pretty strong magic type damage that uses up electricity or batteries. Same difference, but yeah, it also paralyzes and gives first aid. This isn't bad. That's a pretty funny description. It's a modified health device used to relieve stiff shoulders with vibration. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, we're gonna as far as it gets, I'd say this leads up to a dock. Yeah. So that was like a way in right there. Yeah, so like it doesn't really matter exactly which way you explore in this. Usually everywhere leads to each other, which is cool. Let you decide how you want to tackle it. I do appreciate that. Look at you. Here's another quester. There's another Buddhist. I don't know if it'll be better than this one or not, but we will look into it. Well, mushrooms are less worrisome than this guy even, so I think we'll be okay. Honestly, that was easier than the fights that had just 3 of those guys, in my opinion, so I'm a-okay with what that situation was. We haven't fought this guy, though, I think. He doesn't look too scary. Honestly, I think the crabs might be worse than any of these guys. So these guys do a decent amount of damage. They kind of remind me of Triffids. What is their name? Scavenger Mushroom. So fun. You're the Screamer. I'd scream too if I were you. That's like half bat, half something or other. I kind of wish there were actual like descriptions to these things, like what their deal is. Even after this, they do just a butt ton of damage. But we are slowly becoming stronger than things, so we will eventually solve our problems. Alright, let's see what his thing is. He starts with healing prayer. First aid isn't bad. I mean, that might be better than what they've got going on, to be honest. Because at least this one can do a passive one that doesn't use up their resources. So I might end up switching them out. And the only downside is we'll have to level them up again, but... I guess it might be worth it just to get that in the mix. I mean, neither one of these is actually the healer I do like to use, so that's part of the problem. Still kind of wish we had something better, though. Actually, there might be by now. Maybe it's just not one of those. Let's take a peek around. Didn't we make a comment on that? But someone else is actually using it, I think. Eventually we'll get better options. I think there's a couple things we can modify in here to be more useful too. I noticed that. Yeah, we should get a level 3 of these. I don't think you can go higher again. Let's make sure that's actually true. Level 3, probably the highest. I imagine so. So that was one minor upgrade. Oh, here we go. We finally found one. I accessed a server somewhere. Alright, it looks like we are in a place called Osaka. It used to be known as the City of Water and was quite prosperous in the past. The food seems to have been especially delicious. Takoyaki, okonomiyaki. They even had deep-fried skewers. The food in the pictures looks so tasty. Looks like that's all the information available. Wish I could have come here before everything happened. I like to eat as much as I could. So that just increased our purification powder limit as well. Here's another place to visit. We got a new quester. Juzo. Okay. Well, That probably leads to something we can already reach, so... But we are connecting to where we were at. We do have a leftover skill, so that is something that's a little unfortunate. Hopefully they'll get an AP up plus or something along the way. Or we'll get a better accessory that can give us something better going on. Look at you sneaking in at the end. Well, you'll be real surprised. We're getting stronger. Okay, so it's this guy right here. Yeah, I don't think this is anything we care about, unfortunately. Let's take his gear off and see if that lets us modify anything useful. No, not especially, but it's not terrible either. Let us see if we can connect up to it this way. As long as no one died, although that was a lot of damage to us, so that wasn't overall looking nice, but all's well that ends well, right? Let's see where this side goes. Yeah, see, I was right. This also leads to the backside of one of these. So we have met at least one door that goes somewhere, and it's the one... Actually, maybe that still connects to somewhere else. So yeah, most of these doors you haven't needed to actually break through. Interesting. Although maybe we did have to break through one of them. Maybe we already did break through. So actually, never mind. I think we already did. We just did it in a different spot. So maybe it's not as dissimilar as I had originally theorized, so. Yeah, the extra air raid turn really does make a big difference. Yep, we got a whole bunch of levels, which is real good for us. Definitely lets them start catching up. Guess we'll go up the left side. Oh, I think we're gonna be leaving that part in the top, like, out of that exploration. Like, I don't think those two link up at the very top. I think we'd have to go the separate routes to fill them in. Yeah, we'll still go left. We will do our best to sort out this corner. Wish we had a couple more of those HP ups. That would actually be super useful as a secondary weapon for most characters. This side doesn't match up. Yeah, I had suspected. Alright. Well, I don't know if we have what it takes to get to this corner, but we will certainly try. This might end up being 3 trips, not 2. Look at you. Well, you can go in the water. That sucks. But we did get that, which is a new accessory. Oh. Actually, that's pretty good, to be honest. But probably not better than what we're currently using. This might still end up being 3 because of, yeah. Yeah, we got to the corner, but we weren't able to clear it. That's fine. Yeah, we are coming up to the max again, unfortunately. I think that's just something we're gonna have to live with for a bit until we can get a new boss. Like, we could try to take that one on again, but I don't think that we'll actually be able to take it yet. If I was to guess. Which way seems better, left or right? Well, if we go left. I think we have a chance to potentially go fight the boss again, but I don't 100% know if we'll win that fight. We can try it anyway. Oh, well, hello enemy. Now, like I said, I'm not convinced we're gonna actually win that fight if we try. Like it was before last time, I don't think it can actually hurt us much, but I also don't know if we do the damage per turn actually clear it once our air raids are gone. So I guess another option we could be when we get there is to maybe like shift away from air raids on one of the characters and just kind of maybe get a different attack style for that battle. Hello there, base. What do you got? Another quester. Chie. Okay. Cute. Yeah, we do have a few extra turns. We can potentially come this way. Alright, let's take a moment and reconsider what we have going on here. So, this gives us gadgets and iron wall. Do we like that? Well... what other options do we have that she might be able to utilize that do not actually use up her stuff? Anything with intelligence? This is actually, while it has a good magic attack, it does not actually use her stats, which is unfortunate. So I guess the real problem we're facing with these characters is that they actually don't have an effective way to contribute most turns to that situation. But what I could do is switch to stabbing, which would actually do something for us. This does at least have an attack on it, so I guess we could just do a double attack and get the healing out of that. Is that not it? It was actually the poison bug. Not 100% ideal, but is a particular plan at this moment. I think having one is fine for now. That still would give us a number of things going on. How many? Our explosions are actually a bit of a problem. Gadgets on this. I think I'm gonna actually give us something that gives us explosives so that we have that, because we can restore the other stuff, but the explosives a little less so. Wait a second, was this actually... Well, if I'm just using the melee part of it, why don't I just do that for this too? Well, the power on this is actually... not bad. So I just dual wield. Why don't I just dual wield? Because the... No, actually, this has higher power. Okay, I see what I was looking at it backwards. I don't think there's anything better I could do there. You also are just gonna have to tear them up a bit. Yeah, let's just try it. At least we get 5 turns of airstrikes, so maybe we have a chance of doing this. I think that's the best we can hope for. Maybe I should have given her something better to do than throw, but... We are certainly doing a little better. Maybe we can win. There we go. Nice. So they... Afterburner used to be good. Let's see what it has going on. Let's see if it's still... That's what we remember. Yeah, it's had recycling. We love recycling. We want Afterburner. Nice. Okay, well that did go well, although we will probably switch back. And now we have a little new area to check out, so we can move closer next turn. This is Chie. We'll take a look at them. Yeah, that's cool. Let's remove our equipment here. Cool. We're gonna go across the river and check that out. I think we're entering the point where these guys are more nuisances than actual problems, which is probably good for us. More big chomps. Hey, another USB slot. We'll take it. What do you got this time? Access to the service somewhere. Looks like it used to be a laboratory in the area. It's located to the southwest. Looks like it's where the stadium used to be. That's the place I was curious about. I don't know why, but I feel like something is calling me there. I wonder if there's a facility where they were researching the disaster. So that's all the information available. Perhaps some divine will is driving me to this place. Got more purification. Cool. I feel like that was the main reward of this little zone, but we will definitely finish it up. That's not bad. We'll get more drugs for free. That's a pretty good passive. Did I just see a gem guy wandering across? We sure did. Oh, you jerk. They're gonna be a real problem to catch, aren't they? Didn't want to chase you across half the continent. I hope you're stuck on something. You sure aren't. There you go, you jackass. I think Viper is a gun, unfortunately. No, it's actually a stabby stab. Alright. Fair enough. This could be an upgrade. What can I do with this? I guess I can come explore that little nibbling bit even though I got knocked way off course. It was worth it to chase after that guy. That can give us our missing questers. There's a key. I don't think there's anything we can do that's too useful the rest of this. Let's go get this safe at least. Alright, this time we're gonna try to do it for real. Come on, snip snips. I guess I'm glad that the crabs are getting a bigger part of this pie. I did like the snip snips. They deserve to get their moment to shine. You snipped your snip on us, huh? Unfortunate. Oh hey, it's an orange safe. We haven't seen one of these yet. There we go. Got one of the better melee ones. It's a little stronger. It also does some more smashing power. One thing it doesn't have going for it is it doesn't actually come for free. You do have to use up some of the explosives, so... Where's the batteries? I think it's actually batteries, so... It does come with a free attack, though, and free batteries, so, like, you get a little bit of both, but you do still have to use up your ammo as you use the stronger attack. Still probably worth it, though. Oh, cool, here's another key. Good, we sorted this corner out. Nice. So we can move to where we want to go next, which should be this bottom right corner. And if I'm gonna guess correctly, we're probably gonna have to go through that crab anyway. Like, I doubt this actually leads to the next area. But yeah, we're gonna move here. We're gonna do our modifications. And I'm gonna actually take a break here. I thank you all for watching if you did, and I will catch you all next time. You take care. Bye bye.